What's up guys, it's Will here and I'm here with another video. And just so you guys know, I do a lot of videos from vlogs to covering music. I don't want this channel to become something where I'm controlled by my subscribers. I want to do videos that are sometimes good quality and sometimes might just be really poor but really fun. So let's get moving to the topic of this video. Today I want to talk about something very important. Let's set it off with some background. People who are not good at dating, mainly guys, will sometimes go online to seek advice since they know nothing at all. And most of this advice out there is on one single thing, and that is confidence. I guarantee you a lot of the fundamental videos on dating or stuff like that, they'll mention confidence and they'll say it over and over and over. And sometimes there will even be 10-minute long videos on the same exact thing, which can be summarized in one sentence. Believe me, I've seen probably more dating videos on YouTube than you probably ever will. For some of them, it's just like really fundamental knowledge that says, be confident. If you're confident, you will do better. Now, obviously, that's not the only factor that's going to determine it, but it's very important. And a lot of people out there, specifically guys and some girls too, will probably not be confident initially or naturally. And so they ask the question, won't I be a fake person if I try to fake confidence? How am I supposed to do this if it's not natural? Now, I'm going to elaborate on this point throughout this video, but for a quick solution or a quick answer, the only reason you say it's fake is because you deep down won't accept the change and change into that identity. You're still deep down holding on to that identity, and that's why this foreign concept is fake to you. I want to reference a TED Talk by someone whose name is, I believe, Amy Cuddy, which is pretty much, let's just say, a public speaking event where they talk about stuff. She really helps represent this concept and will help you understand it. I really recommend you hit up the link in the description and watch her video after, because she does a lot better job of explaining it. But essentially, here's her story. She got into a huge car accident in college, and because of that, her IQ dropped dramatically. And she was told by college advisors that she could not and would not graduate from college, and she should probably drop out. She decided to continue, and after 4 additional years, she finished college. And from there, she moved from Princeton University and eventually to Harvard University as a professor. When she was studying in Princeton, she always thought that she was not supposed to be there because she thought she was a lot dumber than all the other kids there. Her advisor or mentor who brought her in told her, you know what? I invested my time in you, so you're just gonna fake it until you make it. You're gonna pretend you're smart and you're gonna do all the things the other kids will do until you make it. And so she did that until she became very successful as a professor at Harvard. And from there, she realized that she no longer felt she wasn't supposed to belong. And it just came full circle when one of her students came up to her and said, I'm not supposed to be here. And she ended up smiling and telling her the same exact advice she was once told. She, in fact, faked it until she became it. One of my points is that your identity is controlled by you. So if you want to be someone, then that's who you will be, and it will no longer be fake. So if you're trying to fake confidence and you feel like you're being fake, then you probably are, but you just gotta keep trying until it becomes natural. Another example is from The Ellen Show. I'll post a video down below. She had David Beckham stand in some sort of retail store and pretend to be someone else. One of the people at the store recognized him and kept saying, you're David Beckham, you're David Beckham. But his response was, no, you're a liar, I'm not David Beckham, stop making lies. The customer was eventually convinced and she just went about her business and everything was normal. This is an example of how you determine who your identity is. He did not want to be David Beckham in that scenario. Since he controls his body, then he owns his identity and there's nothing anyone else can do about it. So the customer ended up accepting that new identity. Now, I'm not saying you have to form some sort of alter ego or completely change your character into someone crazily different. But the point of the matter is that if you want to change into someone who's better or something you want to be one day, then you're probably going to make mistakes along the way and come off as incongruent to certain people. That change is going to take time and you're going to have to pretty much barrel through it and accept that you might appear fake initially, but over time you will naturally assume that. This can actually be applied to a lot of things in self-development, such as being a better public speaker, talking to others, being a better person inside and on the outside, appearing like you are a confident person, being more kind, and a whole lot of stuff. Another thing is making excuses for what you can't do. A lot of people will blame where they were brought up or how they were born or what type of physical features they have for the lack of change in their lives and how bad their lives are. I actually thought about this really cool concept recently, and it was this: assuming we could possibly switch bodies with someone else and their personality and memories and everything will be in your body and yours will be in their body. You've seen it in comics, movies. What would happen if you switch bodies with your absolute role model, whoever it is? Let's say your role model could take over your body for the next year and just completely change your life. Do you think he would do the exact same things you did? Do you think he would sit in the corner and play video games all day? Do you think he will be limited by the same beliefs? Whoever your role model is, let's say it's Barack Obama. If he and I swap bodies today, quite honestly, he would probably be a lot more productive than me. He would have everything in his room organized. He would have a lot more free time because he was a lot more concentrated on getting the work done. And he would probably get a lot better social life and a lot of other things. Despite having the same bodily limitations as you, he would control your life completely differently. To anyone on the outside who didn't know you swapped bodies with someone, they would just think, wow, he's just turned around his whole life. He's working harder, he's not slacking off anymore. I don't know how he did it, but wow, I'm kind of jealous. Sometimes in school, you'll see that guy with the much fitter body or who's a lot smarter than you. And you'll say, well, there's nothing I can do. He was probably born a lot smarter or a lot fitter. Man, I just hate my life. Well, actually, with this new body swap concept, you realize sometimes it's just an excuse. If you spent the time in the gym or you studied enough on your own free time, you could probably get to the same level. Now, sometimes they just might have some sort of natural advantage because they were really born smarter or were more talented. But at the end of the day, hard work will account for a lot more than talent. I have a friend in my life whose name is Steven, and we are probably equally smart naturally. He works a lot harder at what he does, and that's probably why he's gotten farther in school. I could make the same excuse that Steven just had a better upbringing or maybe he has better study environments, but I know at the end of the day, if we swap bodies and he had to live where I lived and do what I had to do, he'd probably do just as well, better than me, than if I was in his home with his body. And the truth of the matter is, he just has a better drive and passion, and he realizes that you can't make excuses for this kind of stuff. So where do you get this drive and passion? Well, that's probably a whole nother video on itself. But if you're not having the same amount of drive and passion as maybe your role model, then you might want to reconsider if this is where your true interests lie. And also, it takes years to sometimes develop that sort of power, that sort of passion, and that amount of ability. Another interesting thing I recently found was a documentary. But the synopsis is basically there's this guy who went to bars a lot, was some sort of industrial worker who was straight. And after a concussion, his personality and appearance rapidly changed because his identity for some reason changed. After the huge concussion, he changed his hairstyle, his clothing was different, and his personality had become slightly different as well. He was now homosexual. So what does this have to do with anything? Sometimes, myself included, we get suckered into thinking this is the identity I can be, there's no way I can change it. And in honesty, with that documentary story, there's definitely a lot of different possibilities of identities who you actually can be and have potential to be. And maybe it's just deep down you who have decided I don't want to change. So you gotta check that out yourself and really get rid of all those if you really want to become a better person. So I personally still have a lot of changing to do. I kind of want to change my habit of loving video games so much and try and get out there and maybe join some clubs even though I don't want to, because I know in the long run they'll be better for me and I'll develop some sort of interest in them. Getting more confident and trying to be more confident is not actually being fake. Sure, you will mess up as you progress, but you have to keep faking it until you make it, because there's no other way for a change other than mistakes. But I know for the people watching this video, and probably in my real life too, that you probably would rather me try and be more confident rather than just be stuck in this insecure state. I guess it's kind of like being a better person. We'd rather you try and be a better person even though you might make mistakes along the way, rather than just sit there and say, oh, I'm a bad person, I can't change. Too bad. If you're just stuck in that state, you're probably going to get the same results forever. And if you keep trying to change, you'll eventually get better and better until you finally reach your goal and you might get better results. So I'll leave you guys with that. Don't make excuses, and it's not a problem to try and be more confident. You're not being fake. Through trial and error, you'll eventually get there and you'll be thankful you kept going. So I'll see you guys later, and just so you guys know, I'm on the same journey along with you guys. I'm definitely not somewhere at the top showering advice down. So hopefully we'll get there together. I'll see you guys later. Thank you guys for watching this whole thing if you did. Peace out, subscribe, and I'll see you guys later.